Hi you guys, welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we're going to be discussing the 5th yarn and the yarns that I think are worth it series. Before we get started, all of my contact information is in the description box down below, along with my new Facebook group. So please head over there. Please answer the 3 questions and agree to follow our group rules. Also, it's raining outside. We're having some thunder and lightning now, so if you hear that in the background, I'm very, very sorry, but I can't stop the rain for filming. So, and it's supposed to be like this all week long, which I'm okay with. Like, this is one of the few weeks where I'm like, okay, yeah, we really need the rain now. The pollen has just been ridiculous, and we keep thinking it's going away, and then it, like, a new wave of it hits, and every doctor's appointment I've been to, every morning when I go out walking, now that I'm out walking in the mornings again, like, everybody's like, oh, can't breathe. Everybody's nose is stuffed up, and either they're sneezing, sniffling, or like talking like they've got a mute in their mouth. Anyway, so what yarn do I love this time? Well, I love this yarn. So I'm not going to get into whether or not you shop at Hobby Lobby. That's your choice. You do you. But one of the most cost-effective places that most people seem to have is a Hobby Lobby, and they do put their stuff on sale fairly reasonably priced. Now, I think all the prices on these, oh no, some of these have the new prices. We have I Love This Yarn prints, and I Love This Yarn. I don't have there's like an effects one, but you know, we got some speckles here. These are all, I think, with the exception of this cobblestone or whatever it is, Tin Roof. All of these are discontinued colors. These were all purchased on clearance. I normally only buy I Love This Yarn when it's clearanced or by project. It's not something I normally stockpile a huge amount of. Sorry. I'm very, very thirsty today. But yeah, I really like this yarn, genuinely. It's very well named. It is a 100% acrylic yarn. It comes in a lot of different styles, textures, colorways, colors. They have a huge selection. Their speckle yarns are fantastic. I love, love, love them. They also have some that mimic the brush effect of hand-dyed yarns, like some of the surface dyed yarns, things like that. I used Blossomopolis to do a Just Feel Festive shawl for the 80s cow last year. I just used this one specifically to make a campfire cardie a few weeks ago. And that's specifically why I bought this yarn when I did, and as much of it as I did, because I knew I wanted a campfire cardie out of it. It washes up really, really well. The regular price on it is $4.99 now, but it does go on sale for 30% off, so that makes it like $3.50 or something, I think. $3.49. But it holds up really well. It's inexpensive. If you have a Hobby Lobby nearby, you generally have a huge selection in store. It's not like shopping at Joann's and Michael's where you have these very limited selections in store, but then you go online and there's like 90% more options that you can actually buy from that company and have shipped to you. Most Hobby Lobbies I've been into, and I've been into Hobby Lobbies in like 5 different states now, and multiple ones in each state. Most stores carry the bulk of their yarn collections. They might not carry 100% of the colors, but the bulk of them are carried in store. So what you see online is what you get in store. And there's not a price difference from what they sell in store versus online. The sales generally also the same online and in store. So as a consumer, there are certain advantages to that. Most of their colorways, our color lines, they do have dye lots listed, but they're not the difference in the colors, as long as you're buying like in the same like 6-month period, generally I haven't noticed where the dye lot is that different. Now, if you buy, say like in January and don't go back until October, you might have some shade variance on their dye lots, but I've had to mix dye lots before and you really couldn't see a difference butted up against each other. They looked identical. So I haven't had an issue with dye lots. It's easy to get. It's inexpensive. It holds up pretty well. Now, once again, this is one of those yarns where I would say it's fine to machine wash it on cold. I wouldn't necessarily put it through the dryer constantly because you are going to have it start pilling and get kind of naff a little bit faster than it ought to. But that is the nature of machine washing things frequently. Now, when I say that, I mean, I've got certain pieces that when I machine wash them, they're put through their paces, like the anti-pilling blanket I've shown you. I mean, I normally wash a blanket once, maybe twice a year. We're 2 adults and 2 cats living in a house. Like, it's not like we're getting food spills and drool, and most of our blankets here at the house are just to throw over legs while we sit on the sofa and watch TV. Like, they're not drug around the house through dirt and dust. They're not, thrown around everywhere. They're not slept with. They're not drooled on. They're not, I mean, if you got a baby, peed on, dog peed on. So most of my blankets and things like that, they maybe get washed once, maybe twice a year. They're just, I rotate out what's on the sofa so they don't even sit out that long. So I just don't have the need to stringently wash things constantly like that. But I do have blankets that have been thrown through the wash a few times. They're fine. It's fine if there's something like that. But if this is something you're going to be washing, once a week, once every other week, a couple times a month, machine wash, air dry, lay out flat to air dry would be my recommendation. If it's something you're going to be washing once or twice a year, you're fine machine washing it and drying it. It's still going to hold up for 8 or 9 years. You're not going to have it like disintegrate in your wash. It's just not going to look prime after a certain point. But if this is something you want to use for years on end and are going to be putting in the washer and dryer every day, every week, yeah. And I mean, and that's just the nature of a lot of yarn crafts. Projects do start to wear as you wash them and dry them. So you're going to get the longest visual perfection out of your project if you machine wash, lay flat to dry. Unlike the anti-pilling, like I said, I mean, that poor blanket I did has been put through its paces. My green kids slept all over that, drooled on it. That's one that got washed monthly there for a couple of years, and it still looks great. So I have made a garment out of this. I've made shawls out of this. I've made hats and scarves out of this. This is one of those yarns. I love it for baby stuff. They do have a DK or sport weight version of it. It comes in so many colors. It's very easy on the hands to work with. It's easy to knit with. It's easy to crochet with. I just think all around it makes a really good crafting yarn. It's a really good yarn crafting yarn for a reasonable price. So, and a lot of the solids actually match or coordinate to the variegateds or to the speckles or to the brush painted ones. So if you're wanting to do something with a lot of colors and you're wanting to incorporate variegateds and speckles and different visual textures of yarns to some solid components and really have a good match, that's another reason why I really like this line overall, because I know, like, when this one was still on the shelf, they had the yellow, the pink, the orange. They were all colors that they had in the regular solids line, except it was I love this yarn neons, but they were the same color as what was in this. So, like, if I had wanted to do, like, variegated squares done in solids and picked one of the solids out of this, I could. That was an option when this was still on the shelves readily. I know when I was doing the Blossomopolis shawl, I realized that the aqua blue and the bright pink in that were colors that they had on the shelf. So, you know, that's another thing when you're doing like big projects where you're using a lot of colors. This would be a line where I would say you're going to get, it's going to be the easiest to do color matching and palette matching with this collection, because they do have so many yarns and so many styles that coordinate, even though they're not coordinate kits. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's an acrylic yarn. It holds up fairly well. It holds up with time wear usage, as long as you're not, like I said, washing it every month. And even then, I mean, you're still going to have, if you do something with this where you're going to have to wash it every month, while it's not going to look perfect probably after your first 2 years of having it, you're still going to get 2 years of really good visuals. It's not, when I say things are going to start pilling faster than they should, it's faster than ideal conditions. There are ways to prevent having to deal with pilling, and you can use a gleaner, shave them off. That's, if you want to put that kind of work into it, that's fine. I'm a little lazy. It's easier for me to lay things out flat to dry in the house than it is for me to try to razor off little fuzzies. So you do what works best for you, but it's only going to get worse. The storms are just supposed to get worse as the day goes on today. Anyway, you make your call and choice for how you want to care for this, for your own project and for your own sanity and sake. You know, that's one of those, it's up to you. I do hand wash or air dry a lot of my projects just to keep them looking their best for as long as possible. But that's not an option for everybody. This isn't going to fall apart on you 2 washes in. It's going to be more like the blanket your grandma made for you when you were a kid out of Red Heart Super Saver that got that, it's one big pill texture, which, I mean, I have one of those. There's nothing wrong with that. It's almost like it felted, but it didn't have any wool in it to felt. But yeah, I mean, it's going to change texture. It's going to wear, which is fine. But I think for what you're paying for it, for how nice it is to work with, for how nice it is to wear up against your skin, it's really easy. As a acrylic, it has no itch to it, so it's really easy to wear around your neck, your shoulders, your face. It's fine for sensitive skin. I think this works out really well for baby things. So now you know what I think about it. I want to hear what you think about it. So guys, comment down below. As always, I love you. Take care, and I will see you guys real soon.